Welcome back to How to Be a Better DM, the official podcast of Monsters.rent. I'm Justin Lewis.
And I'm Tanner Wayland.
And we are here to help you tell better stories for yourself and your players as you dungeon master sessions of D&D, Dungeons & Dragons. We'd like to give you some quick announcements. We actually have one before the show, and then after the show, if you want to stick around, we have some more announcements then as well. But first, let's talk about this. Tired of being alone? Are you tired of not having any of your players understand you? Are you tired of never truly belonging? Well, you're in luck. All you need to do is join the Guild. The Guild is a unique and exclusive experience that is only open to Dungeon Masters. It is a full community focused on helping ease your DMing burdens. Want to meet other DMs? Join the Guild. Want to discuss your homebrew ideas with people who would appreciate it instead of just telling your cat? Join the Guild. Want to find a place where all your wildest dreams will come true? Join the Guild. Go to monsters.rent/guild and sign up today for free. Wait, that can't be right. Chuck, can you check this again? Is this supposed to be... What? Oh, they're serious? It's free? Oh, okay. All right. Yes, go to monsters.rent/guild and sign up today for free, even though they are crazy for giving this away for free. Common side effects may include burping, sneezing, laughing, breathing, hearing, listening, tasting, farting, critting, sarcasm, and in extreme cases, explosive diarrhea. Awesome. With that out of the way, we can get into today's show. Hipam, can't you do anything? Herlia asks with an exasperated tone. Well, Miss Herlia, I'm not exactly suited for... What about you, you dumb bear? Herlia yells at the large bear at the back of the cave. You'd all found this cave a few weeks ago while looking for shelter. Herlia, I'm not exactly sure we can do something about it, or even if something can be done at all. He's just lost his uncle. It's not exactly something you get over in a matter of minutes. Have a little heart. Herlia walks up to Hipam, who's sat propped up against the large brown bear. She crouches down in front of him. Let me tell you something, little halfling. I've had my fair share of losses too. And after all of that, I found my way into the city guard, where I could at least do something. Do some good. I was able to stop beatings and even prevent murder. And now, I've been pulled away from that to do what? This? Herlia gestures to the front of the cave where Ulf sits motionless, as snow slowly covers his face. Herlia gets up and walks over to Ulf and spins him around and cries, Your uncle died! But Cojari is still alive, and he needs our help. The entire kingdom needs our help. You haven't said a word in weeks. What are you waiting for? No response from Ulf. So, Herlia punches him in the mouth. Suddenly, Ulf finds himself on a warm rug. Surprised by the change of scenery, he sits up. He's not in the mouth of a cave. He's in a large teepee made of animal skins. What would you like to do? Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat, and we are getting ready for it with this list of Dungeon Master gift ideas. Welcome back to How to Be a Better DM. I'm your host, Justin Lewis, and I'm here to help you craft better stories for yourself and your players as you DM sessions of D&D. The first announcement today is a biggie. It's who won our giveaway. So, without further ado, the winner of the giveaway is... Twisted.toga. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! I will reach out to you, Twisted.toga, and get you your download key. I'll send that over to you. Thank you for everyone who participated, and keep an eye out for more giveaways that we're going to do in the future. This was really fun, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. We'll also have some more announcements at the end of today's show, so stick around for that. But without further ado, let's get to the main topic. And with the holiday season fast approaching, I thought it would be a good idea to create sort of a Christmas list for gifts to give the aspiring Dungeon Master. This list can serve as ideas for you to give a gift to someone else, or you can hand this list over to your significant other to help them with their shopping for you. And I'll be honest, this list is pretty long, but that is because there are many things that you can buy for a Dungeon Master. Let me also say that Almost all of the things on this list are luxury items, and that means you don't actually need them to play D&D, but they are really nice to have. I also need to mention that I have exactly no stake in mentioning any of these products. I have not been paid or compensated in any way. I just really like them. So, with that said, let's get into this list and see what I have in my Santa sleigh of holding. Number 1 is the Player's Handbook. This one doesn't really need explanation, but number 1 on this list is really the only thing that you should get for your DM if they don't already have it. And when I say that, I mean it's kind of a necessity. It has the rules of how to play the game as well as the rules on how to create characters. To be honest though, Wizards of the Coast is actually releasing Unearthed Arcana in parts for free, meaning that if you wait long enough, you'll probably have enough material to use to play the game for free anyways. And in fact, you can actually go download the free rules for free on Wizards of the Coast, or D&D Beyond, sorry. And actually, if you want to know more about Unearthed Arcana, you can go back to listen to episode 68 and 66 of this show. But there are 2 options for buying the Player's Handbook. You can get the digital copy, which is being sold on D&D Beyond for $29.99 as of writing this episode. And then there's the physical copy, which is being sold on Amazon for $29.90 or $22.95 at the time of this recording. Though it does look like that is a sale, and it looks like it usually sells for about $49.95. Obviously, there are pros and cons to both having the book digitally or physically. I would pay attention to what your Dungeon Master uses normally and then get them that, because you can always go back and get the other one next year. Number 2 on the list is the Dungeon Master's Guide. Next to the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide makes the perfect gift for the DM or aspiring DM who does not have it. This one is also nice to have both online and in person, so gift givers, feel free to give either one because they both have their benefits. Right now, the Dungeon Master's Guide is selling for $27.95 on Amazon, though that does seem to be a sales price, with the original price being around $49.95, and then the digital copy is being sold for $29.99 on D&D Beyond. This gift is a nice-to-have gift, as it is more focused on being a Dungeon Master while having less content that you actually need. And naturally, there are case-by-case situations where you might need one thing within the DMG, but overall, I'd say that this book is a luxury. Number 3 is the Monster Manual. Last of all, there is the Monster Manual, and this book is exactly what it claims to be, a manual of monsters. Compared to the DMG, the Dungeon Master's Guide, I would say that the Monsters Manual is a little bit more of a need for Dungeon Masters simply because every story needs conflict, and there are a lot of conflicts that happen between 2 living entities. So a character and a monster or something like that. And actually this manual inspires you both with these entities. And it makes it really easy to fill up your games with baddies. So right now you can buy the physical copy on Amazon for $26.90, though the original price is $49.95. And you can get the digital copy for $29.99 on D&D Beyond. Now, if you want to get the Monster Manual, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Player's Handbook, you can actually get that as a bundle, which might save you some money. So the physical bundle right now is available on Amazon for $85.99, and it comes with a DM screen and the Lost Mines of Phandelver adventure. Number 4 is a resin 3D printer. Usually, I stick with the cheaper things when giving tips on this podcast. However, I know that there is someone out there looking to give their Dungeon Master a very high-ticket gift, so these next 2 are actually more expensive. And number 4 on the list is a resin 3D printer. A resin 3D printer would allow your DM to print their own minis and even tabletop terrain in extremely high detail. A quick note on resin printing. Your DM will need to have a computer, so if they don't have that, this might not be the best gift. Also, the resin can be toxic, so your DM will need a space where the resin printer can be kept away from children and pets. Also, extreme hot or cold does not produce great prints, so an insulated place where they can do the printing is very important too. So let's look at some prices. Now, this episode is not looking at which printer to buy. Obviously, I just kind of picked one at random online. Instead, these prices are just to set your expectations. Right now on Amazon, I found a Creality official Halot 1 for $199. And your DM will likely need a washing and curing machine as well in order to make sure the prints cure correctly. If you're looking to do that, I found a full bundle with all 3 from Elegoo for about $378.99. Remember, you also need to buy the actual resin, which I found for about $19.99, and I would also recommend having paper towels, rubber gloves, and a mask online or on hand. Number 5 is a tablet. Again, among the expensive items of this list is a tablet. It would allow the DM of your life to access D&D Beyond without having to lug around their laptop, and it's simply just a much more convenient tool than a computer, and it can also be used in conjunction with computers. So there are lots of tablets out there, but I found an Apple iPad mini on Amazon for $468 to set your expectations. Also, I'm not a tech person, so do not take my recommendation for which tablet you should get or whatnot. There are different people who can answer that question for you. Number 6 is a dice tray. Having a dice tray is just really nice. You know, it allows you to keep your dice in a collected location, and it also allows you to set your style as a DM, and I think it helps your players somewhat get into the mood. And there are millions of dice tray creators out there. Find one you like and just get it. If you're looking for a recommendation, I love what @SterlingMakes does on Instagram. They make these awesome dice trays made out of really fine wood, and they use a CNC machine that makes it look really nice, and they often add resin details, and it's quite beautiful. So check them out. Again, that's @SterlingMakes. They don't know I said that, so don't worry about that. But dice trays come in all shapes and sizes, and therefore all price ranges, so find one that fits your DM and then just get it for them. Number 7, a subscription to D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond offers Dungeon Masters the ability to craft encounters and campaigns with characters uploaded online so you can play anywhere. They have a free account which allows you to select a number of these encounters and characters, but it is a limited number. And for a Christmas gift, you can get your DM a year-long subscription to D&D Beyond so they can have unlimited encounters and characters. The Hero subscription is about $40 for the year, and the Master subscription is about $70 for the year. And the Master just allows you to share downloaded content with your players, which is nice for DMs who heavily use D&D Beyond for their character creation process, as well as online DMs. If they don't do that, then a $40 Hero subscription would probably do just fine. Number 8 is a DM screen. I particularly love the Dungeon Master screen because it hides what you're doing and it gives you some authority and credibility at the table. You can kind of think of it as sort of a Dungeon Master uniform. And it also, if it's done right, it has some really nice references as far as conditions and other things go. And here you can also find a screen as expensive as you want or as cheap as you want. For example, from a quick Google search, I saw a range of screens going from, and these are handmade screens, going from $40 to $240, made from wood and other things. You can also just find one pretty cheap for paper. You can make one yourself even, but you need to find one that fits you and your table. The nice thing about buying special or custom screens is that they are a little bit taller, which is nice because the screen that comes in the normal D&D kit that I mentioned before is somewhat short. It's about as tall as a piece of paper is wide, and that's the one that I use. So it's good though, because I use it and it suits me and it gets the job done. So don't let the shortness of it stop you. Number 9 is a nice but simple sound system. Ambiance can be a great tool for the burgeoning Dungeon Master. Giving them the opportunity to add ambience in full surround sound is a great gift. Some things to note here though: before getting the DM surround sound, you might want to check with them about hooking things up to walls or what their plans are in this area. Like if they're planning on moving, that might not be the right thing, because usually people end up hooking up surround sound on walls and such, and you don't want to get them a gift that they are unwilling to use or hang up or things like that. Next, often surround sound systems require cabling, so make sure you get that as well. It's annoying to get a gift that you can't use, but with that said, surround sound systems are not actually as expensive as you might think. Just looking up on Amazon, I found one that is just $49.97, and it comes with one large subwoofer with 5 smaller speakers, and it is Bluetooth capable. You can then get speaker cable for $12.99, and voila, you have a passable speaker system in your D&D room. Again, I am not the tech guy, so for quality of speakers, do not talk to me, but that's just to set your expectations for pricing. Number 10, a microphone. This gift is for the online DM or the intrepid streamer or even the prospective podcaster. Microphones are pivotal for excellent gameplay over the digital airwaves. And here you want to think of a few things. So there are 2 different types of mics generally. There's a dynamic microphone, which is designed to pick up really everything and give you the best sound quality. This sort of microphone is best used in a very sterile environment, like a recording booth, where not much extra sound is going to enter the environment. Even computers or air vents, not going to be there. And it's going to give you great audio, but it might need some extra engineering on the background or on the back end if you do end up catching some of that extra stuff. The other type of microphone is a compressed microphone, which is designed only to pick up the voice of the speaker. And you can use this microphone in a lot more of a noisy location, though you'll still want to get your audio as clean as you can when you record. And for most people, I would actually recommend a compressed microphone because it's just easier. You don't have to worry about making your environment as noiseless as possible. And for most people, I recommend the Samsung Q2U microphone, which is the one I'm using right now. You can get the recording and podcasting pack for $70 on Amazon. It has excellent sound quality. It comes with the ability to hook up via USB or XLR connection. So if you're going a little bit more advanced there, you have that connection. And you can even hook up your headphones to the microphone to hear how you sound as you use it. Honestly, in my opinion, it is the best plug and play microphone I can find. And it's pretty cheap. So that's also a big plus. Number 11 is a very fancy notebook. Depending on your DM, a fancy notebook might be just the thing for them. You'll definitely want to pay attention to them to make sure that it's something that they would actually use, but you can definitely find something great that would fit them. In fact, I have an amazing notebook made from one of the listeners of this podcast, Anna. If you're listening, Anna, I want to say thank you so much for this notebook. I use it every day. And I don't use it just for my campaigns. I actually use it to record my goals, thoughts, and insights. And it's just a really awesome thing. And actually, if you're looking for something on Amazon, there are lots of other cool options there. I found some right now that are around $25, and they would make the perfect gift. So, number 12 is a fancy medieval mug. It's a small touch, but supplying interesting mugs for players can help them to immerse themselves into the game a little bit more. And it can actually do the same thing for your DM. As you dungeon master, you talk a lot naturally. So you're going to want to drink some water or other beverage to keep your throat moist. And what can be cooler than drinking from your very own D&D styled mug? There are lots of options on Amazon, and actually you can even get a Viking horn mug for around $50. So that's a mug made out of the horn of an animal. But there are endless options with endless styles. I just picked that out to give you an example with a price range so you kind of know what to expect. Number 13 is a gift card to Hero Forge. If you haven't heard of Hero Forge, it is an online site that allows you to create custom miniatures to match the character you're playing right now. And they have lots of options, and you can actually choose to buy the mini or have them print and paint the mini and buy that, or you can buy the STL file to print the mini yourself. It's great, and you can also create a character and then import them into software like Dungeon Alchemist to play online in a 3D fashion, which is pretty cool. And naturally, in a case like this, a gift card is the best choice because you don't know what your DM would like to use it for. For example, last year, my older brother got me a $25 gift card to Hero Forge, and just recently, I used some of it to create a mini that is supposed to look like me. So then I bought the STL for that, I printed it out, and now I'm using it to make reels on Instagram. So there's an example of something you can do with this kind of gift. Number 14 is Dungeon Alchemist. If you've been paying attention to the podcast these last couple weeks, and in fact, the giveaway that was today, you know that I am a huge fan of Dungeon Alchemist. They are a software that you can download on Steam that allows you to quickly make maps of dungeons. And you just simply select the type of room you want, draw the shape, and then click a check mark, and the software designs the room complete with furniture and treasure, all in 3D. And then you can export this map to use in online platforms like Foundry or Roll20, and it's incredible. And actually, just like I mentioned, you can import minis from Hero Forge and use them as 3D avatars for your players. If you want to know more about Dungeon Alchemist, go to betterdungeonmaster.com/dungeon-alchemist. Here again, I have to say that I'm not actually being paid to say that. However, I do have that link specifically so I can hopefully go to Dungeon Alchemist later and show them that our listeners love their product, so then they will sponsor us. Just being transparent, they're not paying me, but I would like them to pay me eventually, so that's why that's there. Anyways, I really love their software. I use it all the time. Number 15, a subscription to World Anvil. World Anvil is a tool that anyone can use to world build their homebrew project, or even just use it for their current campaign. You can create Dungeon Master specific pages or let everyone see everything. You can even keep notes on your current campaign as you run it. And in fact, there's a free account that allows you to just get started and see how it goes. But that doesn't offer nearly any of the really cool features like secrets or word count goals. And in fact, the cheapest account is actually for $54 a year, and may well be worth it for that Dungeon Master itching to create their very own world. In fact, World Anvil is what I'm using right now to create my homebrew world of integrity, and I found it fairly useful, so it might be useful for you or the DM in your life. Number 16 is tabletop terrain. We've all seen excellent examples of tabletop terrain on shows like Critical Role or High Rollers, so why not get your DM something similar? I've preferred my own tabletop terrain that I've sort of spliced together from things I've found online and then added some of my own design aspects that I 3D print. For me, it's cheaper, but it does take more time to get everything together. I also have to paint it, which I'm not very good at. See, if your DM doesn't like doing anything that I've just mentioned, then you can actually just opt for sites like Dwarven Forge. They have awesome creations and options for tabletop terrain sets that are fully fleshed out, fully painted. Or if your DM loves to craft and make things themselves, maybe look at getting them some XPS foam and some super glue and paint so that way they can make their tabletop terrain themselves. Either way, make sure it's what the DM wants and will use. If you do it right, you can really surprise them and astound them and delight them, really. And naturally, there are infinite combinations for gifts you can get for the Dungeon Master in your life. Simply pick one and get it for them. And the sad truth about gifts is that we rarely get it right. Getting someone a great gift is particularly hard, so that's why I'd like to challenge you to really think about your Dungeon Master and think about what they would actually like. The more you think about them, the closer you will get to the perfect gift. Now, let's get to today's announcements. First of all, thank you for everyone who participated in our giveaway. We had an amazing turnout, and I can't tell you how grateful I am to you for supporting the podcast and helping reach new listeners. We want to give you ever better content, and so that's why we're actually here to ask for your feedback. I'm on my knees right now, begging and pleading for you to lend your hand in shaping the show and helping us help you to be a better DM. So if you could, go to betterdungeonmaster.com/feedback and answer a couple questions on what we can do to improve the show. Your opinion will be immensely valuable. Next, I'd also like to extend another invite to join our one-shot for this November. It will be on November 19th, and we still have some spots open. So if you'd like a chance to play D&D with guest host Rob from Dungeons, Dragons, and Psychology, sign up for free. Even if you've played before, the spots are first come, first serve, so you can still sign up. So go to betterdungeonmaster.com/one-shot. Again, that's betterdungeonmaster.com/one-shot. As always, I want to say thank you for all your support, and we couldn't do this without you. Every week we come here, and it just astounds me that people are still listening. So listener, I just got to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your support. We'll keep doing what we do and come back next week with another great episode. Until then, let's go ahead and roll initiative. Thank you for listening to today's show. We really appreciate your support and your patronage. We have a few more announcements to go over. First,
did you ever fall in love with the library as a kid? It was a place where you could experience 1,000 stories without having to buy 1,000 books. That is what Monsters.rent can do for your D&D campaign. You can rent and swap out as many quality miniature monsters and creatures for your D&D party as you could ever want, without having to buy them. You can rescue villagers from a kobold camp, or lead your party through the fighting forest, or many more adventures. We're coming out with new bundles all the time. Just sign up for our subscription to get access to your own personal library of minis. Go to monsters.rent to find out more. That's the website. Monsters, with an S, Rent. Get your library pass to a world of minis today.
We also wanted to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Stardust and Dragons. I'm going to let one of the cast of Stardust and Dragons, Christian Hatcher, and his crew tell you a little bit more about it.
This August, a new adventure podcast is coming to a platform near you, filled with action,
Shoot one of the two of them. We can't keep taking hits like that.
drama,
Everything that she's been doing, everything she's going to do, finally sets in.
and stardust.
Help! Help! Someone, please!
Find out more about this epic odyssey at stardustanddragons.com, where adventure awaits in the stars.
That's all the announcements we have today. Again, thank you so much for everything you do for us. You make this show possible. Like we said before, we'll be back next week with another great episode, and until then, let's go ahead and roll initiative.